Empire dresses can never go out of style. A scroll through any fashion blogger's account on social media and you'll find an empire dress featuring on it numerous times. Perfect for evening dinners, brunches, and even laid-back vacations. Follow our step-by-step tutorial and sport a stylish empire dress. In this tutorial, we will learn how to cut the fabric according to the template. We will prepare the upper torso pieces, join the front and back pieces together. Finish the neckline, attach the sleeves, prepare the skirt portion, sew the side seams, attach the zipper and attach lace to the sleeves and the bottom. For this you will need 3 meters of fabric for the dress with a width of 60 inches. Template for the empire dress, which you can download from our website www.ushasew.com. Chalk, scissors, beaded pins, scale, measuring tape, matching thread, 8-inch concealed zipper, Usha Janomi zipper foot, Usha Janomi gathering foot, Usha Janomi piping foot, 5 meters embellishing lace of your choice. Step 1. Template marking and fabric cutting. Open the fabric completely. Fold lengthwise from the bottom and then from the top as shown in the tutorial. This is the wrong side of the fabric and this is the right side of the fabric. Place the front template on the bottom half of the fabric as shown. Pin the template to the fabric. Ensure the pin enters all the layers of fabric. As you can see, the front template is kept on the fold of the fabric. Now with a piece of chalk, trace out the entire template. Be careful while working on the curves. A steady hand is necessary. Once you are done tracing the entire template, unpin it. Keep the template aside and then pin the fabric again to hold the layers in place while cutting. Carefully cut on the traced line and again go slow on the curved path to ensure a perfect front fabric piece. Remove the front piece and keep it aside. Now place the back template on the top fold of the fabric as shown and ensure it's placed correctly on fold. Repeat the same steps as the front template. Pin, trace, and cut. Keep the back piece aside as well. We will now cut the skirt. Open the fabric and again fold it into half like shown. We still have the right side facing right. Take a ruler and mark a straight line across the width of the fabric. From the straight line, measure 28 inches and mark. Mark 28 inches on regular intervals, which will help us draw a straight line. Now with a ruler, make a straight line. Cut on the lines. While cutting, ensure that you cut both the layers of the fabric. We will need 2 pieces of fabric for the skirt. Cut one more piece in the same way. Next comes the sleeve. Take the remaining fabric and place the sleeve template on it. Pin the template to the fabric. Ensure the pin goes through both the layers of the fabric. Now trace the outline of the template onto the fabric with a piece of chalk. Unpin the template. Keep the template aside. If required, you can repin the fabric to ensure stability while cutting. Cut on the marked lines. This cutting is very important as it can make or break your design. We will need a bias strip for the neckline. Take the remaining fabric. Keep the scale at a 45-degree angle as shown. Draw a straight line with the chalk. Now measure 1.5 inches from the drawn line and mark the point. Mark 1.5 inches at various points on the fabric. These will help us draw a straight line. Once done, take the scale and draw a line joining the marked points. Cut out the strip with the help of a scissor. We need only one strip and hence we are cutting only the top layer of the fabric. Step 2. Preparing the upper torso pieces. We will need darts on the front and back pieces. Bring the front piece and open it. Keep the front template on the right side of the front piece as shown. As you can see, the template has 2 notches at the bottom and 1 point above the notches. Mark all the 3 points. Now flip the template and place it on the left side and again mark these 3 points. Remove the template. Join the 2 notches to the center point with the help of a scale and some chalk. Join these points on the other side as well. These markings will help us create a dart. We will see how in just a moment. We now need to repeat the same procedure on the back piece as well. Place the back template over the fabric like shown. Mark the point. Flip the template on the other side and mark. Once done, join the points. It's finally time to get stitching. Take both the pieces to your Usha Janome Dreammaker 120 sewing machine. We will first work on the front piece. Join the 2 notches. And pinch on the upper point. We will stitch on this line. Adjust the fabric under the presser foot. Ensure the machine is set to straight stitch and increase the stitch length to 2.6. Press start to begin sewing. Do reverse stitch at the start. Sew from the point till the notch as shown. Do reverse stitches at the end as well. Cut the thread. We have now sewn 1 dart on the front piece. We will repeat the same process for the other dart. The darts for the front fabric are ready. Let's move to the back piece. Like the front piece, we will join the notches and sew on the line for both the left and right side. This is how the darts will look. Step 3. Joining the front and back pieces by stitching the shoulder. Place the back piece over the front piece as shown. Right side facing right. Match the shoulder correctly and pin them together. We will now be stitching the pinned shoulders. Take the fabric to your sewing machine. Place the pinned shoulder under the presser foot and start sewing. Do reverse stitches at the start and the end. Even for such a small stitch line, a reverse stitch is necessary to hold the fabric together. Cut the thread and repeat the same for the other shoulder. This is how the shoulder stitch will look like. Step 4. Finishing the neckline. Open the fabric like shown. We will now finish the neckline with the help of a bias strip by attaching it to the neckline. Let's get sewing. Fold the bias strip into half. Place the folded bias strip on the right side of the neckline. We have left about 1 inch of bias strip at the beginning. Adjust the fabrics under the presser foot and begin sewing from the shoulder line. Be extra careful while sewing. Stop and keep adjusting the bias strip along the neckline. Go all around the neckline. As you come near the end, stop. Remember the bias strip that we left at the start. We can leave half an inch and cut off the extra fabric using a pair of scissors. Fold the extra strip as shown and place the other end of the bias strip over this fold and sew. Once you reach the end, cut the thread. The extra bias strip left at the end can be easily cut off using a pair of scissors. This is how the stitches will look. Now we will give notches to the edge like shown. Be careful not to cut over the stitch line. Give notches all through the neckline. The notches will help the neckline sit comfortably while wearing the empire dress. Now fold the bias strip like shown. An edge stitch is required on the bias strip to hold the fold. Align the fold under the presser foot and begin sewing. Again, go all around the neckline. Keep adjusting the fold as you go along. Cut the thread. Now we will fold the bias strip onto the wrong side, which is the inside of the dress, like shown, and sew on the edge. Adjust the fabric under the presser foot. Begin sewing. Ensure the fold is placed correctly throughout the neckline. Cut any excess thread. Done! We have a neat neckline. This is how it should look once finished. Step 5. Attaching the sleeves and finishing the sleeve hem. Open the fabric once again. Bring in our sleeve pieces. Fold the sleeve pieces into half as shown and give a notch on the top. Take one sleeve piece and match the notch to the shoulder stitch. Align the stitch line and the notch and pin the sleeve right side facing right as shown. Pin all around the armhole. The same step will be repeated on the other side as well. We will be sewing the armhole and also hemming the sleeve. Place the pinned fabric under the presser foot. Start sewing slowly. Keep removing the pins as you go. Once done, cut the thread. This is how the sleeves will look. Sew the other sleeve in a similar manner. Let's move on to the sleeve hem. Fold the fabric by half an inch twice like shown. Place the fold under the presser foot and start sewing from one end to the other. Keep pausing and folding the fabric to ensure we have a neat sleeve hem. This is how the hemmed sleeve will look. We will hem the second sleeve in the same fashion. We have now attached the sleeve and hemmed it. Step 6. Preparing the skirt portion. Now let's work on the skirt portion. We have the 2 fabric pieces ready for the skirt. Open the fabric. The fabric will be attached to the top torso portion. Before we attach this, the top of the skirt piece has to be gathered. Take both the pieces of the skirt to the sewing machine. For gathering, we will need the Usha Janome gathering foot. Unscrew the regular presser foot and screw the gathering foot in position. Set the machine to straight stitch and stitch length to 4. For gathering, the thread tension has to be set to maximum, which in this case is 9. Align the fabric under the presser foot and press start and watch how magical it looks. The machine creates perfect gathers. Create gathers till the other end. Once done, cut the thread. We will repeat the same gathering process on the other piece of skirt as well. This is how the gathers will look. Aren't they beautiful? Step 7. Attaching the skirt pieces to the upper torso. We will now attach the gathered fabric to the upper portion of the dress. Take one piece of the fabric and align it with the bottom edge of the top piece, right side facing right. Pin this in place. Keep pinning all across till you reach the other end. Ensure that both pieces of fabric are aligned correctly. Once you are done with one side, open the fabric and let's pin the other skirt portion to the back of the dress, right side facing right, and pin. We are now ready to sew. We have already changed the foot back to regular foot and set the machine to straight stitch. Align the fabric under the presser foot. Begin sewing. Ensure both the fabrics are aligned correctly throughout the stitch. Once you reach the end, cut the thread. We will repeat the same for the other side as well. Align the fabric and stitch. Cut the thread. Our top torso portion is now connected to the bottom as seen. This is how the stitches will look like. Step 8. Finishing the sleeves, bottom and the sides along with the zipper. We will be embellishing the sleeves with a lace. Measure the length of the entire sleeve and cut the lace at measure. Pin the lace to the sleeve as shown. Repeat the same procedure for the second sleeve. Cut the lace, at measure and pin. Let's move to the side seam. Join the sleeve right side facing right as shown and match the armhole. Pin the armhole. Next, move down and match the waistline and pin in place. Further, keep matching the side seam and pin till you reach the bottom of the dress. Once you're done with this first side, repeat the same steps on the other side. On this side, however, we will be attaching a zipper. We are using an 8-inch concealed zipper. Measure 1.5 inches from the armhole and create a mark with a piece of chalk. This point will be the starting point of the zipper. Now on the other end of the zipper, we need to make a mark 1 inch before the zipper ends. Use a chalk to mark this point. This will be our opening. Let's pin the zip. The right side of the zip will be placed on the right side of the dress fabric. Pin one side of the zip to the bottom fabric as shown. The other side of the zip will be pinned to the top piece of the dress, right side facing right. Open the zip. This is how the pinned zip should look like. Let's start sewing. Let's sew the lace first, and hence we will need to change the color of the thread to match the lace. We also need to change the regular presser foot and attach the piping foot. Once done, align the fabric under the presser foot and begin sewing. Sew from one end of the lace to the other end. Keep the machine at a slow pace to get a perfect stitch. Once done, cut the thread and repeat the process on the other side of the lace. The two ends of the sleeves have to be joined together. For that, remove a few pearls from the edge of the lace. This will help us sew the sleeve seamlessly. Change the presser foot to the regular presser foot. Join the two sides of the sleeve, right side facing right, and place it under the presser foot. Begin sewing. Do reverse stitches at the start. Keep moving from the sleeve towards the bottom of the dress. Slow down near the armhole and the gathers and ensure both the front and back pieces are aligned together correctly. Once done, cut the thread. This is how the side seam will look. Now let's sew the other side of the dress. Let's start from the bottom of the dress and move upwards. Once you reach the zipper marking, stop and do a few reverse stitches. Cut the thread. Now start sewing again at the other mark and go till the end of the sleeves. Cut the thread once done. The zipper is next. Replace the regular presser foot with the zipper foot. We will align the right edge of the foot with the fabric and hence will attach the foot accordingly. Place the fabric under the foot and start sewing. Keep removing the pins as you go. Once you reach the end of the zipper, stop and cut the thread. Open the zip and let's sew the other side. Align the fabric under the presser foot and start sewing. Go till the end. Our first set of stitches for the zip are done. Now we need to stitch near the teeth of the zip. Align the zip under the foot and begin sewing. Sew as close to the teeth as possible. Go steady and make sure your stitches are straight. Once done, cut the thread and repeat on the other side. This is how the zip should look like once stitched. The last bit here is to lock the top of the zip by stitching across its width. Change back to the regular presser foot. Place the fabric under the presser foot and stitch across. This is how the stitch will look like. Turn the empire dress inside out and we will work on the bottom hem. Fold by ½ inch twice as shown. Align the fold under the presser foot and begin sewing. Sew all across the bottom hem. Keep folding the bottom and ensure the stitches are neat. Once done, cut the thread. We also need to change the regular presser foot and attach the piping foot. Place the lace at the bottom of the dress and begin sewing. Leave the end open and move on to the other edge of the lace. Sew all across. Once you reach the end, fold the end for about ½ inch and overlap it over the lace as shown. We will have to remove the pearls if required. Place the overlap under the presser foot and sew. Use pivoting on the corners. Cut the thread and done! We have finished the neckline, the waist, sleeves, bottom hem, and the zipper. Wasn't that simple? Your empire dress is now ready. You know what to wear on your next dinner date. Tell us in the comments below that you'd like to see next, and don't forget to share the video with your tailor friends.